Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a tallow lamp or a tallow candle. Now this is just a really quick and dirty version. I'm going to do much more in-depth videos showing this whole process, from how to make the cordage that will be the wick and how to render process from scratch. But in this case, we're just going to do it simple, and this is really good for survival situations. You won't always have flashlights, and in a survival situation, if you still have access to any sort of meat, if you hunt, then you can always make light. So we're going to start off here. I've got some tallow. This is left over from steaks I cooked last night. I just let it all cool down and gathered it all up. I got a seashell. This is going to be the base, of course, for the lamp. And then I have some jute rope that I got from Home Depot. I cordaged it up to make it a little thicker. Now I microwaved, not the traditional way, and microwaved that tallow, and now I'm going to pour it in. Now in this step, this is very important that you get the wick saturated, including the part that will be sticking out. You don't want it dry. You want underneath as well as above, you want it all to be wet. Now to get this tallow to harden, you got to have the wick pointed upright. So I'm going to use just this little kettle here. I'm going to prop up the shell, and I'm actually going to just take some masking tape and tape it on up so that it will stay in place while it initially begins to set. Now there's way better ways to do this. I was just doing this last minute just to show just how quick and easy you can make light for yourself. So we're going to leave it here, we're going to prop it up, and we're going to let it start to harden. And pretty quickly, within a few minutes, it is started to harden around the outside. And you can see up close that the wick has been properly saturated. This is key for this to work. After a few more minutes, it's hardened enough that I can cut the wick, and I'm going to cut it pretty low and pretty close to the bottom where the tallow itself is. I'm just going to snip that off. And then I'm going to speed up the process. I'm going to take this and put this whole thing in my freezer for just a minute or two to let the tallow finish hardening up. And once that's, give it another minute or two, pull it out and give it a light. Now, the jute rope actually has flame retardant in it, so it took a second to get this to light. But eventually the tallow itself that had saturated the wick began to light. And and you notice at first the flame begins to burn very high and dirty. You see it's flickering because it's not fully catching, but and you can't see above it was making a lot of black smoke. But once it burns through that initial part of the wick and begins to seep up tallow from the bottom, the flame goes down to a manageable level and there's no black smoke. So that's it. That's how you make a lamp. These things will burn surprisingly long, and again, it's just made from leftover food from my steak dinner last night that I otherwise would have just thrown away. And instead, I've made something that, in a survival situation, could provide light. I'll do more videos in depth showing more about this whole process, but hopefully you enjoyed this video.